Good evening. This is Faye Dennis with Channel 5 News at 4. Our top international story is RyanAir. RyanAir is a low-cost airline from Ireland whose operational bases are in Dublin and London Stansted Airport. RyanAir operates more than 280 737s. The low-cost airline was founded in 1985, and since then, RyanAir has grown to fly more than 178 destinations. Michael O'Leary is the current CEO of the airline. We'd like to ask the company, what strategies should RyanAir implement to solve their image problems in order to stay competitive in the low-cost airline industry?
Flying with RyanAir was insane.
Flying with RyanAir isn't really a big cup of tea.
RyanAir, it's bad. I flew it yesterday. It's gonna be my first and last time because what I experienced, it was really horrible. I saw the duct tape on the ceiling. Really, it's serious. And I think they're only price indexed and they don't care about their customers at all. All they think is just keep the cost low and make profit. But if they just keep this strategy going on, I don't think they're going to be very successful.
Good evening again. We're here joined with a couple of analysts who are concerned about what RyanAir has done over the past few years, and they're here to give us a few recommendations about RyanAir. Joining us is Dr. Dom and Dr. Teresa Figueroa.
Hello.
Good evening.
Thanks for having us.
Good to have you here. What are your concerns about RyanAir?
Well, primarily my concerns are with safety. Well, we know how rampant RyanAir has been in cutting costs, but the problems are more complex than this. It is in their very mission to get you to your destination as fast and as cheaply as possible. They are cheap. One example of how they cut costs is by printing safety instructions and placing them on the back of the seats. Also, as numerous reports have showed, the upkeep of their planes is disturbingly bad, where some of the flight panels were duct taped. So that just shows you right there how poorly run things have gotten. And they don't want to add any more seat belts, just handlebars. That's just ridiculous.
So it sounds like they're concerned a lot with saving money, not necessarily the customer.
Exactly. And what they should do is put a little more, money in the quality of the product that they're selling, and the product of customer service as well. So overall, they can improve their flight, the overall flight experience.
Dr. Teresa Figueroa, what are your concerns about RyanAir?
Well, my main concern is heavy competition. We've seen a lot of airlines like Vueling from Spain and EasyJet from the UK. Those are all low-cost airlines that are entering the market at high speeds, and they're giving quality that's higher than RyanAir at a little bit higher prices, but it's shown that people are willing to pay those higher prices in order to feel safer and have nicer flights.
That's interesting. And so their competition is rather heavy.
Yes, of course. At some cases, we see RyanAir giving fees that other airlines don't usually have. Another big problem with the competition is that these airlines, for example, Vueling, they are all operating in international airports, as opposed to RyanAir that is operating in outside airports that they choose themselves for their benefit, because they have less rent to pay in those airports, as opposed to paying it in international airports like these other airlines do.
So RyanAir only lets you fly from destinations they want you to.
Yes, of course. So if you really look into everything and all the fees, you're really paying a little bit more than the actual competition is, because you pay for air transportation to the other cities outside, and you're paying to travel to the city that you're going into. So in reality, people are paying more. They just don't realize it because they're just more attracted to the low initial prices that RyanAir.
Well, Dr. Teresa Figueroa, I heard that you brought in a lovely table for us.
I brought in a table that will illustrate the differences between RyanAir and some of its competitors, Vueling and EasyJet. I have a few different criteria First of all, it will illustrate the different airlines, Vueling, EasyJet, and RyanAir, which demonstrate the extra fee per average, last-minute bookings, printing boarding passes, comfort based on rating, and overall satisfaction. So, in terms of extra fees, Vueling has an average of 3.5 euros, EasyJet has an average of 5.4 euros, and RyanAir has an average of 40 euros. As you can see, RyanAir has increased their hitting fees a lot more than the competition. For last-minute bookings on a family of 4, Vueling is 50 euros, EasyJet is 63 euros, and RyanAir is double that at 118 euros. For printing boarding passes, Vueling does not charge anything, EasyJet as well, they do not charge any fees, and RyanAir charges 60 euros. For comfort based on a 5-star rating, Vueling is 3, EasyJet is 3, and RyanAir is 2. And overall satisfaction, Vueling is 4.5, EasyJet is 3.5, and RyanAir is 3.
Now tell me, what are your recommendations about RyanAir?
Well, I have a few recommendations. One of them is, first of all, they really need to change management. I know that Mr. Michael O'Leary is really enthusiastic about cutting costs at any cost at all. But I really feel like they should build long-term relationship with their customers. Right now we have one-time use flights. I think that if they take a little more time and invest a little more in upkeeping their planes and have even add new destination areas, customers will flock to them and not to the competition. We've seen how competition is rising and how customers are willing to pay a little bit more in order to go with them.
Oh, that's interesting. Keep them on. Doctor, what do you recommend?
Well, I recommend that, basically do something about their whole image problem with their CEO and become a safer airline overall, really. And once they achieve this, they can raise ticket prices, say 5%, and this will do a lot actually to their image. It'll make customers feel like they're buying a safer flight. One other thing is they should be more upfront to customers about the hidden fees. Charge one flat rate for baggage and for other things as well. And that's it.
Those are really good recommendations. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
Thank you.
Well, that about wraps up our top story for tonight. We hope that the viewer will consider writing RyanAir after the recommendations given to them have been accomplished successfully, making them again the #1 low-cost airline in Europe. In conclusion, it is imperative to develop sound strategies in order to outperform competitors and remain profitable in the long term while keeping quality standards. Thank you. This is Channel 5 News at 4. I'm Faye Dennis, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Okay.